You have already heard one definition of the word resurgent, life returning again. But what is an example of resurgent in our everyday lives? Where does it show up? I have an example from the endangered species list. There was one bird that was brought to the edge of extinction. Like many other animals, it had its habitat encroached upon by mankind, its food sources taken away, its territory stolen. Like the American bald eagle, the gray wolf, and the Canadian goose, this bird lived in only a couple of places in the United States. The Meleagris galapavo was nearly extinct in North America. In fact, it had been completely wiped out all the way from the Atlantic Ocean to the Rocky Mountains. It only remained in two small pockets, one in Missouri and one small one in Arkansas. Attempts to restore this bird to its natural habitat failed because after they were removed from cold climates, the few pockets that remained in warm climates could not adapt to Northern California weather. They had troubles adapting to the temperatures and finding food sources. It wasn't until the 1900s that a very careful and deliberate effort was made to restore the birds from colder climates in Missouri and from Arkansas. They began to flourish because of a strange phenomenon that was sweeping across the United States known as urbanization. We began having small gardens, parks, and areas where there was lots of tender shoots and very young plants that these birds like to eat. They began to flourish. We started providing them with safe places to roost, with very in-city trees, parks, and areas where they could be safe from predators. Today, the Meleagris galapavo numbers around 7 million birds, flourishing mostly in backyards and hillsides, many of which are in Walnut Creek. They especially enjoy participating in our board meetings and our staff meetings. They add to any conversation with a very distinct call. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Yes, as you may have guessed, the Meleagris galapavo is the wild turkey. They almost didn't survive. Now, since Easter is a holiday of hope, it's important to remind us that winter will fall away, that species will return. The rock will fall back, and all the fear and hate of an occupying power still cannot destroy the chance of new life. You can find that last Easter egg, and yes, you may have the ears off my bunny. But hope remains precious. It sometimes goes into deep dormancy. It doesn't appear for years and years until a new black president is elected. Sometimes it appears on March 4th when the first baby is completely cured of AIDS. On March 28th, when the Supreme Court starts listening to the DOMA case, the Defense of Marriage Act, and they hint that no, this really shouldn't be here. On March 29th, a Pakistani teen by the name of Mala Yousafzai begins writing a book about surviving the Taliban attack because she was fighting for education. Whatever you name your source to be it science, be it faith, be it deity, there is hope out there. It does come back. It's not all winter. And sometimes the most amazing, wonderful things you have ever heard in your entire life are happening now. Yes, they are.